Shalom, shalom. Barakti Hawa Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Shalom, shalom. Leave the world behind. This was apparently also a novel written in 2020 by Rahman Alam. Rahman Alam. Sounds like a Middle Eastern type Elamite name. Rahman Alam. Okay, regardless of that, yeah. So we know everybody pretty much has watched the movie that's in the know. It's on Netflix. Okay. And it's a movie where you get a lot of spiritual nuggets thrown at you instantly. Okay. Those are that can analyze it, you know, and put the movie through a spiritual sieve. And, you know, from putting it through that spiritual sieve, you can sort of get an inkling, an idea of what Esau, the so-called white man, will propose to do, or will possibly do down the line. Which is very, very, very soon. Because in literally approximately was it now? Oh, less than a month, right? 17 days, 30 days of September, April, June, and November. Okay, yeah. So less than half a month to go. 31 days in December, so it's the 17th today. Okay, less than a month to go, and we're in 2024. All right. And this movie comes out right before the year is about to end. When did this movie come out? About a week ago, right? So it came out in the period of December, right? All right. And they say, right, the Obamas were involved in Leave the World Behind, and some think they were sending a message, which they were. All movies, right, be it stand up comedy, movies, music, commercials, a lot of people think that it's just entertainment and this is there for the sake of being there. They think that the so-called white man is being articulate. They think that he's being creative. When Esau, the so-called white man, is not articulate or creative. Okay, everything they get in terms of articulation and creativity, they get that from Jacob. Okay, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and Jake scattered abroad. Right. So leave the world behind. There's a lot of nostalgia that's thrown into the movie, the show as well. There's a young girl in there. That's the daughter of this Edomite couple, right? She's probably maybe 9, 10 years old in the movie, and she's into the show Friends. The show Friends was a show that was, I used to watch back in the day here and there. I wasn't like a avid watcher of the program. It's just like, when it was on TV back in the day, you'd watch it maybe half an hour of it or whatever. On the odd occasion, it says entertainment, right? And that was in the 90s, and that was my era when I was a younger man. And this young lady, and I've noticed a lot as well that a lot of the younger generation prefer the stuff from the 80s and the 90s. They do not like the music and the shows and the everything of today. They don't even like the fashion. All the girls that are sort of like 18, 19 years old prefer the fashion of Aaliyah. And Aaliyah died, 2000, 2001, right? And they like the way she dresses, or the way the women dress in the 90s, which was still wicked, but it's not as wicked as it is now. So in the movie, right, the girl wants to watch the show Friends. Okay, and the reason why she wants to watch Friends is because she wants to have that same mindset uh, of that warm, happy feeling of feeling comfortable, feeling that the world won't change, feeling that the world will be like the show Friends, or everybody will be friends. And she's watching the last episode of Friends. And by the way, Matthew Perry has died. Okay, he died, I think, several weeks ago. I made a video on that. And Matthew Perry was a core figure within uh, the Friends show. The guy was a dope fiend, right? And so he's gone. And she wants to watch the last episode because the term friend is basically people getting along with each other, right? But at the end, they show friends. She finds a bunker, right? She finds people have underground bunkers. They have food. They have loads of DVDs because they got to kill time. They have everything there that they have in the so-called world right now, so they can pass time however long they're going to be in that bunker, which is not going to be very long because we're going to pull them out, Lord willing, if you're part of that number with Yahweh Shai, His Majesty. And yeah, so she's watching the show, right? Because the movie starts and it's giving you a lot of insights of what's going on, right? But let me just get back to the end of the show, the end of the movie, sorry. The end of the movie, right, is basically the beginning of trouble. If you analyze it that way, it's not the end of the movie and that's it. Everything's hunky dory and happily ever after or happy ever after. No, it's the beginning of troubles and sorrows and woes and tribulation. Okay, because once this thing goes down, as things were going down, no one's ever going to be friends ever again. That's why the girl was so adamant on watching the show Friends, because she wants to have it in her mind, because that show shows a normal so-called world where people get along, people go to the coffee shop, people go to work, people socialize, people wear the latest fashions and just talk gibberish, worldly stuff. She wants to believe that the world will be like that. Okay, but she's trying to sort of she's trying to basically block out reality by watching a show called Friends, because once things go down, no one's ever going to be friends ever again. That's why she was watching the show Friends. And I've also noticed like copyright um copyright and things of that nature have been thrown out the window, because Esau has been starting up his dummy accounts, right? And they've been launching all the classic movies. I've been noticing. It could be the so-called Christmas BS, right? But then again, we got all. Everyone's got like they can go to Netflix, Prime, or whatever to watch what they got to watch, right? They've been putting up all these movies of all classic movies from 30 years ago, 25 years ago, 20 years ago, 40 years ago, all classic movies, right? And copyright has been thrown out of the window. And I've been looking at these movies, jumping on these people's channels, saying, "What the hell? How come all these movies are on here? No one's taking them off." We're talking about the latest movies as well, Spider-Man and all that, which is about a year old. Some of the movies, and I'm thinking, why are these movies being deleted? And then, along with this show, Leave the World Behind, along with the spiritual nuggets in there, and the Friends episode, what Esau's doing right now, which our spiritually is analyzing, right? When I woke up this morning, is the fact that they're trying to throw all the warm feelings of yesteryear, of how things used to be. So before they give you hell, Esau likes to do that in Revelation of the Method. They like to prophesy on the left hand side. Before they give you hell, okay, they like to give you your bread and circuses. They like to give you because Esau is not going to cause any trouble during the so-called Christmas period. Why? Because the Amalekites are small hatters. The Edomites, the so-called white man, the 1948ers want to make their dough. They want to make their money. They're greedy like that. So they're going to let you have your month of so-called folly. They're going to throw all these warm Christmas movies and Santa Claus and all that bullshit at you. They're going to throw all these 90s movies and, 80s movies when America was America, and Mayberry and all the white picket fences and the beautiful manicured lawns, and Esau, the so-called white man, going to the office in the morning and his wife at home wearing, looking all feminine, wearing a dress and shit. And he's going to the office with his coffee, dropping the children off at school, all those kinds of movies, Christmas movies and all that kind of stuff. They're trying to just throw at you of how the world used to be, because the world is not like that anymore. Okay? They're trying to throw all these warm feelings that things will be back to normal, trying to like throw things at you where you'll be focused. Like that girl, like the girl in the show was trying to focus on the show Friends. Okay? Now, at the same time, they're trying to put the world, okay, that are trying to sort of get away from so-called reality and trying to throw them into a tailspin of watching all these movies and shows that are not aligned with what's going on. Obviously, we watch shows and movies to escape from reality, but this is for people that are actually burying their head in the sand. All right? Because we know we have an expected end, the hopeful elect, because we know what time it is, right? The other nations, the Edomites and the heathen nations, right, as well as the 2/3, don't have an expected end. They think that they can't imagine a world without the so-called white man. Okay, so these kind of movies and shows are just gonna put them and give them that warm feeling that okay, 2024 is gonna be a better year. 2024 is gonna we're gonna be friends with everyone. America will be like this again. London will be like this again, and music will be better again. And why isn't shows like Ricky Lake or Oprah on like it used to be in the 90s? If you read the comments on these, even a lot of the youngsters prefer the music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. They even just read the comments. They say, "Oh, it's got a more of a deeper message. It's warmer. It's romantic, whatever." All right, which goes to show that people are yearning for the past, and so what they're trying to do is create the energy of burying your head in the sand and not focusing on what's going on. The hopeful elect are focusing on what's going on. Doesn't mean that we don't watch movies like that. Yeah, it's entertainment, right? But we also analyze the fact that uh, 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 we know what time it is and what's coming, and we also look forward to the kingdom, which is going to be here on planet Earth, right? Now, I know I went into a whole lot of waffle there. I hope you try to understand. I try to explain it uh, as best as I could. I hope you get it. Um, Salakia for that, if I was all over the place. But also within the movie, right? Esau would never ever, if somebody's speaking French, English, Hindi, Punjabi, Czechoslovakian, Spanish, Italian, or whatever, they would always, always, always put subtitles at the bottom, or there's a choice of putting subtitles, right? But more than likely, if there's someone speaking non-English or no, not an English language within the movie, they would have subtitles saying, "Okay, this is what they're exactly saying." Now, during the movie, there's an Israelite woman that approaches this devil here that was in Training Day, and he hasn't aged well at all, right? She approaches him, right? And we being Israelites, you feel sorry for the woman because that looks like a sort of a mumsy or a motherly figure. You know how it is, Jacob. The Lord has made us in a careful and tender way where we're very merciful people. Nevertheless, she's speaking something in Spanish, right? And she was saying a whole host of things, right? And Thawadi Habashim Shai, the Northern Kingdom speaks Spanish, and a lot of us learned Spanish in school. Okay, I should have paid more attention to it, by the way. But within the show, it is mentioned that there will be chemical poisoning of some kind of red dust, uh, as well as some other key information that she mentioned. All right, and she's saying that something is coming, something is coming, something is coming. All right, and yeah, she gave some information on some kind of chemical attack. All right, and something is coming, from what I remember, because an elder did a video yesterday. Um, okay, so she gives you a whole host of information. And the way Esau does it is they put one against the other, right? They put the Chinese, they throw the Chinese in there, they throw the Middle Easterners, the Muslims in there, they can throw other nations in there. So when race war breaks out, it's going to be all against all. It's going to be the Chinese against Arabs, Arabs against the Chinese, the so-called white man pretty much against everyone, the Arabs against everyone, Israelites against Israelites and against everyone. The hopeful elect Israelites are going to be maneuvering through that chaos circumspectly, or being circumspect, you know, and spiritually, walking on a spiritual footpath to try and maneuver their way until Yahushua returns, you know, and you know, see, this is what Esau does, man. They're very covert like that. They'll give you the answer, right, within the movie, or in any kind of situation. They'll give you the answer, but they'll hide it. You know, they'll hide it. How will they hide it? They'll either make it covert or they'll put it right in your face, but they'll put it as an anagram, as a verbal anagram in front of you where you can't understand it. So sometimes with a movie like this, you got to watch it twice to get some more spiritual nuggets out of it. All right. So they're letting you know it's basically a documentary. It's like Terminator 1, Terminator 2 with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's basically a documentary because they're going to use robot dogs and cyborgs and things of that nature. Okay, they're gonna use they have agents out there. They're gonna use chemical warfare, like they said in the movie Leave the World Behind, when the Israelite woman, so-called Hispanic lady, approached this devil here, and he left her behind. Okay, which goes to show in the movie they're talking about friends. There was no friendship there. Friendship is proven when things are bad. Everybody's cool when things are fine. When you got food, when you got a roof over your head, when you can wash, when you can take a shower or two a day, when you can buy clothes, when you can pay your bills, when you got money in your pocket, everybody's cool then. How cool are you when you lose everything? How cool are you with everybody in that situation? Which goes to show he wasn't very friendly, leaving the woman behind. Doesn't the so-called white man talk about chivalry and all that? Huh? Where was this chivalrous act then? He left a middle-aged woman in the middle of nowhere, right? So they're very covert with it. All right. Okay. Leave the World Behind and its association with the Obamas. Barack and Michelle Obama helped produce the movie through their production company, Higher Ground. I wonder why they call it Higher Ground. Because they think they can get away from the explosions and destruction of America on higher ground. Actually, you'll be, underneath the ground, hiding, but you'll be pulled out. Barack Obama, the Hamite, and Michelle, the tranny. Okay. Also, Barack Obama also provided feedback on the script, which helped bring the apocalyptic tension and realism to life in the thrilling film adaptation of Leave the World Behind. It's currently trending #1 on Netflix. I personally want to see more destruction, more heads rolling of Edomites and stuff like that. But it was a spiritual movie nonetheless. And Esau's got a very short time, man. This 2030. Esau likes to throw out numbers out there, like they think they're the most high. They're gonna make sure that everybody's got an electric car and everybody's sea-hip to Revelation 30:16 by 2030. That ain't gonna happen. Me personally, this is me speaking as a man. It's gonna happen way, way, way before. Like our elders and prophets and teachers say, Lord willing, we could be in the kingdom next year. I hope so. I hope so. Nobody wants to be in this hellhole forever, man. This place is some BS. All right. So Esau has very short time, man. They're having nightmares. They're having dreams of some of our prophets and teachers whipping their ass in the kingdom, man, with spiritual power. Even prior to getting the kingdom, they're seeing some of the elders that teach and that online, right? And even teach on the street. They're seeing some of them of Great Millstone, of course, and any affiliate camps. They've been seeing some of these teachers with spiritual power coming at them. They're having nightmares. If you look at King Charles, Prince Charles, he looks depressed as hell. He doesn't look very happy. He knows his demise is coming. He knows it. There's eggs being thrown at him. That wouldn't happen 50 years ago when his mother got coronated and became the so-called queen in 1952 or 53. That bitch didn't throw over eggs at her. This place is done, man. Revelation 12 verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Okay? They have a short time, and what they're doing right now is chucking a whole lot of bread and circuses at you. This Christmas theme, these movies, these warm feeling movies, movies of the past, music of the past, And I kept thinking, why the hell all these, I'm talking decent movies, real entertaining movies, being thrown online right now. I said, okay, yeah, Christmas is around the corner, but then what about the copyright situation? Right? They're putting whole movies online like that. It didn't make sense, because usually they're there for like a day and then they knock them off, which goes to show they're doing it by design, so people are preoccupied and try to bury their heads in the sand. So old heads will be watching the older movies to think about the past and hopefully hope for a bright future. Youngsters that hate this era will be watching them older movies and want, how things were in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. They want that sort of era back, because they like it. They're more in tune with it. That's the kind of world that they want to live in, you know? So they're throwing all that at you so you cannot see what's coming. And they put it in movies. They put it right in front of your faces in every single movie. But you think it's entertainment. But when it happens, hey, you're gonna be struck like a woman in travail, man. You know? And you won't be able to escape. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. They do have a short time. They do have a very short time. And if you can't feel it, you can't see it, right? It's just because you are spiritually blind, you know? Some people that are of this world feel that the time isn't going faster. I said, what? But then you got some people of this world saying that time is going faster. Now, people that hoping for a positive expected end, the hope for elect, we can feel that time is going fast, but it's not going fast enough, right? Cloven tongues is multiple languages. Okay. Now, sometimes learning multiple languages is a beautiful thing because nobody can put somebody something. Oh, nobody. Have you seen that Jake online that knows all the languages? He goes to a Chink store. He goes to a Japanese store. He goes to Elamite store, whatever, right? Or some other cracker Edomite store that speak a different language. He'll speak all the languages. Now, he's cloven tongued. He knows multiple languages spiritually. You know, Jake has got it like that, right? So nobody can say anything past him. Nobody can say, "Oh, get that ninja." Oh yeah, he's ordering a takeaway. Like let's just say he went into a restaurant that serves, I don't know, some kind of food, which is from a different culture, and they're speaking a language. Nobody can spit in his food because he can understand them. He can see them, right? Nobody can do anything to him because, uh, if they try and be covert by you speaking their language, he can understand it. You know. In this case, where the woman in the movie Leave the World Behind who's speaking Spanish, right? A lot of our teachers and brothers speak Spanish. They're cloven tongued. Okay, so therefore they can speak multiple languages. So somebody translated that through the Spirit, and through that their blessing of understanding the language or of different language, we got the understanding. Okay, and this happened, spiritually in the past as well. Pursuant to Acts 2 and 3. Acts 2 and 3. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them. And they were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, Israelites, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Hence the reason why multiple languages had to be spoken, or different languages. Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded because that every man heard them speak in his own language. A modern version of that would be like when these Edomites come together in those meetings where they have these microphones and headsets on. Well, a lot of them don't speak English or Polish or Czechoslovakian, whatever language they speak. And so the house speaker within that meeting would speak, and the translations would come into their headphones while they're speaking. You know what I'm trying to say? Because all these ministers and all these key figures from different parts of the world don't speak English. So whatever language they speak, all right, whatever the main speaker is saying in English will be translated. Whatever language is speaking will be translated to them in their own language, and they'll be able to make heads or tails out of the situation. You understand? You know, people have invested in bunkers. You know, you got your lower level Edomites that earn a couple 100,000 a year have invested in bunkers. You got the Kardashians that wanted to build a bunker in their back garden. So if things do go down, they could quickly run to the back garden, open the hole, the hatch, whatever you call it, open the door of their bunker and jump right in and start walking down, I don't know, a little alleyway or whatever, or a little walkway until they're at about 10, 20 feet underground with, I don't know, several feet of thick steel around them. I don't know, whatever they got, you know, with enough water to drink and to wash themselves to last, I don't know, 3 to 5 years. Food, unperishables to last 3 to 5 years. Movies, screens, maybe enough room to even walk around and exercise. Fresh air that'll be pumped in through oxygen tanks. How are they going to do it? But the real rich elites, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the De Beers, all them, the so-called Illuminati, those Edomites, they're going to have whole malls underneath the ground, whole cities underneath the ground. So they can live the way they're living right now underneath the ground until the smoke clears. So they can come back out like the phoenix and rebuild the world. That's not going to happen because, like the scriptures say, we're going to pull them out under the ground. And all these bunkers, are going to be found. Because a lot of these bunkers that are going to have food in there are going to be left for the elect. Because the elect are going to find them to eat and drink. All right. So a lot of you people are preparing bunkers for the elect's sake, not for yourselves. Okay. And this is going to happen. All right. Esau likes to prophesy on the left-hand side. It's called revelation of the method. All right. Always think twice when they're giving information in movies, when they're giving information in stand-up comedy, when they're giving information. For example, they do a commercial where people are getting beamed up into so-called UFOs. Always analyze it. Don't just think, it's just entertainment. No. Always analyze it. All right? That time is coming. The tables are turning. Esau knows he's got a short time left. Time is speeding up. They're giving you more and more answers daily. All right? That was just my little spiritual rant on the way I've been seeing things happen in the last week or so regarding this movie and what I've been viewing on YouTube. I was just thinking about it, and I thought, they're trying to just throw a whole load of bread and circuses and entertainment out there and warm feelings so people can just say, you know what, I'm not believing in what's coming. I'm just going to watch these 80s movies and just watch E.T. and Back to the Future and just think that, you know what, it's the same era, it's back then, I'm going to dress like back then. I'm going to listen to the music of the past, and I'm going to try and make sure that, we bring the 80s back into existence again. And America keeps going. That's what they hope. That's what Esau wants so bad. But it's not going to happen, man. All right? It's not going to happen. Esau's demise is coming. The so-called white man's demise is coming. You heathen nations too. All right? Just because you're not mentioned. All right? The reason why you're not mentioned all the time is because you are heathens. And on top of that, this ain't your rulership, even though you get a lot of benefits from it from your daddy Esau. The ruler of this current rulership is a so-called white man. It's their time. That's ending right now as I speak. Okay. All praise to Yahweh Bashem Yashai Bashem Makakwadash. Mawathabad Babal Kwam Yashra Shalom.